Coming your way on NBA Now, a news and rumors mailbag where we take all of your questions from our loyal subscribers. This is NBA Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Chase Sr. NBA free agency continues to roll on. Summer League is really starting to pick up steam. There's some trade rumors out there as well. We're taking all of your questions on the show today. We start off this mailbag with this question coming in from Merle Garrett. It's a $2 super chat. Do the Washington Wizards have a top duo in the East? No. Because who is the other element of the duo alongside Bradley Beal? Is it Johnny Davis? Is it Kristaps Porzingis? No, they're not one of the top duos in the Eastern Conference. I did find it pretty interesting that Bradley Beal has a no-trade clause, and it is a full no-trade clause. The only player in the NBA currently to have that, and he's the 10th player in the history of the NBA to have a full no-trade clause. So Beal opting out. He signed that big extension. Now he's one of the highest paid players in the NBA. And for a guy who is one of the best scorers in the NBA, we'll see if that translates to wins for Washington in the nation's capital. In years previous, it has not. Evan Hinders next up on the show. The Magic trade multiple first-round picks for Brandon Ingram. They didn't address wing in the NBA draft. They decided to go with Paolo Banchero. And I thought they should have gone Jabari Smith because that was the player that they needed. And one of the best case scenarios for Jabari Smith, he ends up being a Brandon Ingram type of player. He's a little bit more strong as compared to Ingram. He has more muscle on his frame. But Jabari Smith is intriguing because he's 6'10", pogo sticks for legs, elite athlete, very good defender, needs to develop his dribble, but he can really get a shot off from anywhere on the floor. And Brandon Ingram, kind of a nice little comp there. So do you trade away multiple first-round picks for Brandon Ingram? Orlando might want to do it. New Orleans would never do that because Brandon Ingram is a star right now. Let's take a look at this question from Noah. Do the Trailblazers have a shot at the playoffs? For sure. For sure. If Damian Lillard is healthy, I actually like the workings of that roster. They've been so bad defensively at those wing spots in years previous, especially when it comes time for the NBA playoffs. You address that with one of the best wing defenders in the NBA, and Gary Payton II, who led the NBA in steals per 36 minutes. So he bulks up your defensive resume there for Portland. And then bring in Jeremy Grant. Not only does that help you offensively, really helps you defensively on that end too. Because, look, let's face it, Damian Lillard is not the best defensive player. In fact, he's somewhat of a liability. But if you make up for it with Jeremy Grant as well as Gary Payton II, that's pretty solid depth right there defensively. SM, one of our loyal subscribers with the fresh OBJ pick, did Orlando screw up by not drafting Chet Holmgren? I know people are just raving about what Holmgren has been able to do in the NBA Summer League, and for sure, he's been impressive, man. The shot-making ability, putting the ball on the floor, a pull-up three at 7-1, the defensive potential and rim protection, certainly intriguing as well. But let's see what Paolo Banchero is able to do throughout the NBA Summer League. I think that he can be a really solid player. My pro comp for Banchero, it was Chris Webber. By the way, another super chat that came in. We'll get to that right around the corner. Speaking of Chet Holmgren, will Chet be a bust? S for star, B for bust. He looked like a star in the NBA Summer League, but keep in mind, in his debut, I mean, he was given the work to Taco Fall. It's Taco Fall. He was also playing well against Kofi Coburn as well out of Illinois. Let me know what you think about Chet Holmgren. And it is Coburn. It's not pronounced how it's spelled. The real ones know. Tobes, S, $2 super chat nearly in European currency. Could OKC trade 10 picks for KD or 15 for KD and Kyrie? That would be insane. 10 picks, 15 picks to basically mortgage all of their draft capital for basically ever because you can't trade picks in consecutive drafts. I'm not even sure this would be allowed, but it goes to show you the value and what Kevin Durant could get back. You look at what Rudy Gobert got back and DeJounte Murray in those respective deals. DeJounte Murray got 3 first-round picks. Can you imagine what KD fetches in a trade? Appreciate that super chat there. Did you say it's pounds? If it's in pounds, I've been hearing a lot of pounds talk on Peaky Blinders. So that's good stuff right there. Composer Connor, 28. Best players from the G League Ignite this year. From this past year, Jane Hardy really led that that crew. Gene Montero, another player. Marion Beauchamp, another player from the G League Ignite this past year. As for what that roster is going to look like in 2022, 2023, they haven't finalized that because the NBA draft just happened. TJ, any possibility Durant and Kyrie Irving don't get traded? I think so. It'd be a power play by Brooklyn. But look, Kevin Durant last offseason signed a contract extension. Kyrie Irving opted in to his deal. So do the Nets say, you know what? Screw player empowerment. Screw KD without his trade clause trying to control where he goes. We don't care about the flake that is Kyrie Irving, right? We're going to make you guys come back. And if you want to sit out the entire season, fine. We're not going to give in and fold to NBA player empowerment. We're going to hold on to you. We're going to force you to play because KD, you just signed that contract extension. So I think there is a chance that Durant and Kyrie don't get traded and they come back to the Nets. And look, they have made win-now moves in free agency. It's reeked of win-now moves. Bringing back Nick Claxton, signing TJ Warren, making a trade for Royce O'Neal. Those are moves that you make to surround Durant as well as Kyrie. Is it a power play by Durant to get Kyrie extended long term? I don't think you can rule that out either. If you want to get a dope NBA hat, get swagged up and swagged out, you can do so. Plug in that link at the bottom of your screen. Head to chatsports.com/NBA hats. There are hats available for every single team in the NBA. Right now, 30 teams. In the future, could be 32 with a team in Las Vegas as well as Seattle. But those hats not available right now because those teams aren't real. You know what teams are real? The hats that we're showing you right now and all 30 teams in the NBA. Get your hat today. You can wear it in the winter, summer, anytime, any day, depending on what weather. It really doesn't matter. Chatsports.com/NBA hats. That link available for you in the comment section and the description. Very good deals for all of you. Galatita de Chocolate. Do the Cavs win a ring in the next 3 years? That's pretty lofty. I think that's a little bit of a stretch. Can we say that the Cavaliers have one of the best young rosters in the NBA? For sure. Last year, before injuries really hurt them, they got off to a roaring start, and then Ricky Rubio goes down with that torn ACL. A couple other injuries happened, and that's what slid them in the Eastern Conference. That's what put them in the NBA play-in tournament, and they didn't make the NBA playoffs. But the young core, it's a really good one. I mean, Isaac Okoro is a player who I really like as a depth piece. And then, of course, they're led by the All-Star and Darius Garland. Evan Mobley, I think, has superstar written all over him. He's like a poor man's Giannis. You still have Lauri Markkanen. You have Jarrett Allen coming off the best year of his career. The contract that he signed 2 off seasons ago, one of the better value deals in the NBA if he continues to produce. So what the Cavs have been able to do, really like it. They bring back Rubio in free agency, and JB Bickerstaff has done a really good job. CP Productions, do the Mavs just need a good wing backup? Oh, okay. Hold on, let me start over. Do the Mavs just need a good wing backup to consider it a good offseason? P.S. I think Hardaway can produce some production after losing Brunson. Yeah, I mean, look, you have Reggie Bullock who can kind of fulfill that 3-and-D type of hybrid role. So I don't know if you need a wing. I think you might need a point guard. Are you comfortable with having Spencer Dinwiddie as your point guard? That's really my question that I would have for you. I'm not sure I would be. I think he's great in the role that he was in last year, coming in off the bench in a Game 7, dropping a 30-piece nugget. Like Spencer Dinwiddie in that type of role is great, but he's also very, very inconsistent. Now, the Mavs did have a lot of success, and they were able to make it to the Western Conference Finals without Tim Hardaway Jr., who is a hyper scorer and can help fill the void of losing that scoring production from Brunson. But that's a really, really tough player to replace. Name a guard with that you think the Mavs should acquire. Colin Sexton can be thrown into that category. Dennis Smith Jr., Ben Simmons maybe. If you want him to play the guard spot, let me know right now. G, you are a G. Who would replace Tucker in Miami? I don't really think they need to replace PJ Tucker. This is a roster that always prioritizes player development. Nikola Jovic showed some flashes in the NBA Summer League. He's going to be a player who's going to crack the roster. He's not going to play the role of P.J. Tucker, but could he get minutes as a rookie, as a guy who's played in a lot of big games for Mega overseas? He's used to raucous environments. Yeah, I think he can crack that roster. Who replaces Tucker? He's a tough guy to replace because he's a very unique player, but the Miami Heat, they plug and play all the time and develop guys like no other. Businessman, last question in this sack. Can the Knicks still get KD or Kyrie with their lackluster assets? They don't have lackluster assets. The Knicks have really good assets. They have premium draft picks, and they do have players that they could trade away. Now, it might not be the players that you would want to trade away. R.J. Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, O.J. Toppin. Those are difficult decisions to make, but if you're bringing in KD and Kyrie, is it worth it if you have an opportunity to compete for an NBA championship? Businessman, you got to think about it in a business approach. You're going to have to give up assets in order to get back two very special players, and for KD, one of the best players of all time. Thanks to all of you for tuning into our mailbag. If you want to be included in our mailbags and you want your questions answered, got to subscribe to the channel. While you do that, turn on those notifications. Therefore, when we do go live, which is when we accumulate these questions for these sacks, you'll be able to join us. YouTube.com/chatsportstv. Type sack in the comments section.